Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Strat Gamer here, and welcome to a new game discovery. This is the playlist where we try out games together, hopefully discovering some old or new gems and helping you decide if you would like to buy them. Today, we are looking at Builders of Egypt. It's a demo that's available on Steam with a full game release now planned for Q2 2021, so not that far. And there's also closed beta, apparently starting beginning of March, so we should start hearing a lot more about these games soon. It's also interesting to note that the same team is apparently also working on two other titles, Builders of Greece and Builders of China, which will probably use very similar mechanics, a similar game engine, but in a different cultural setting, I guess. I initially tried, initially tried this demo a couple of months ago, where they had tried to upgrade the game engine and apparently led to multiple problems from that game engine, so the Unreal Engine. Um, but now it's apparently all fixed, so let's check it out together. But before we dive in, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you're into strategy games, city building games, simulations, that's exactly what I cover. From Anno 1800, Frostpunk, Stronghold, and many other games. So please consider subscribing so you never miss another video and you help support the channel. Okay, so let's take a quick look. We have the campaign, sandbox, some settings, audio, keyboard, video, user interface. Already quite a bit of different settings we can choose. For now, let's leave it as is, but interesting to see you can change your frame rate and your gamma depending on what you prefer. Okay, in the sandbox, it seems that we have two mission already available with different settings, different winning conditions, and shows that in the future game we may be able to get quite a few, which could just be the campaign missions, um, but that you can do one by one, right? And so let's start the campaign. Okay, glorious capital. And we can see some mini maps. Okay, we can choose the difficulty already, which is the amount that we will need to gather. So for this first game discovery, let's just put it in easy and um, see how it goes. Bread, bricks, potteries, and dwellers, which I guess is the population. This is the capital. Okay, let's get started. That was a very quick loading time. That's interesting, I like it. So far, no cinematic um, introduction of that sort. Maybe that will be added in the full game. I often do like to get something like this at the beginning. But we do get some background into the story, right? There's the king name, what description of where we are. So that is interesting. Let's see. AWSD to move around, the arrows to, and we can use space to continue. Okay, interesting. So there won't be any money. Bread and beer will be sort of the equivalent of our money. Okay, so we're gonna have grid of streets. This is not one of those builders where the roads are gonna get built organically and all of this, or one of the city builders where you actually don't even need roads. This is maybe a bit more similar to the old impression games like Caesar 3, where everything was based on your roads and walkers going on your roads. So I guess let's just follow the grid that they suggest. It's a bit hard to see sometimes with these big arrows. Can we turn? Okay, we can turn the camera. It's Q and E. Get a better view. I missed one. And let me take a look at the graphics. Mm, Some interesting textures. It's not the most beautiful I've seen, but for a city builder, this is also not usually the most important, right? Um, you're interested also in some cool game mechanics. Okay, so now we're building houses, and I see the shortcuts. Nice, B and T. This is very guided tutorial, right? You have spaces where you need to build, you can't even choose where. Okay, incoming. They're coming to the city. Can we see them? Maybe not. There's maybe a small bug, yeah. So this is our house. You can see how many people are there. Are they working or not, I guess? The risk of fire, risk of collapse, and risk of disease. So similar to many city builders, right? You to make sure that your city is protected from risk, otherwise it goes up in flames, or you have diseases crossing the city. So and you can think about again the old impression games where to put the firefighter house walking around, or I know 1800 where you have your similar buildings with an area of coverage. Let's see here which one of those two mechanics they chose. This is important, right? Because you want to need these um, elements that force you to move forward. Otherwise, you could just leave the city and not do anything for many hours, and nothing would happen. So it's important to have those elements. Okay. Can I take this out? This is annoying. How do I ah, escape? And now I want to demolish these roads. I'm getting it is a bit funny that by deleting roads you get bread. Okay, so as I said, a fire station. I want to rotate it, okay, with R, because it seems it has two entry points, and you want them to be on roads. Okay. So this is a range building, so more similar to Anno than Caesar 3, You can see close to it, it's very green. You move further away, it's light green, and then it gets to red outside of the radius. Okay, yeah, reduces as distance. Sure, that's very clear. And we have walkers inside. Okay, ah, now we need to click. So as they say, we see people, we see the level. So houses are going to increase in level. I think I read in the developer blog that we're gonna have at least more than 10 level for houses. So that's something interesting. The required resources to raise it, which is an access to well, I think. Yes. And currently they don't have access to anything, I think, is the point. Okay. Oh, so there's no global workforce. Your workforce is localized. So it's similarly orange here. So I guess they can walk up to that point, but if you build a building there, they won't be able to walk. It's quite a big range, but still, and the map seems to be bigger, right? Okay, so we need a well indeed for water, and we can see the walking population here. So they have wells, and they upgrade automatically and without cost, it seems. Or maybe it used some and I didn't see it. No, I think that one just upgraded without my brain moving. Let's check these two. Yeah, upgraded and nothing happened to my bread. Okay, so clay to start with. And again, you see where the road needs to be on both, can be on both sides. So I guess like this. Okay, so our clip it has 100% effectiveness with 8 people walking there. So we're producing our clay. Let's move on. Okay. A stockpile, that is indeed important. So I can put it, okay, all over. Huh. So it can get anything it wants. It has 10 carriers. Okay. So does that mean brick maker? Okay, makes sense. building in a chain, so I guess this linked to this, but we also need straws that we don't have. Must be connected by a road network, and then, okay, stockpile and granary workers are also using those roads to pick up elements, I guess. So I have one carrier used. Can we see him? No. So now they need food, one type of food. Okay. What's strange is that it's the same level. But anyway. Okay, fishing. And and the food goes into the granary. Okay, very similar to impression games here. Okay, so now it's time to build a bazaar to provide food to inhabitants. What is our mission again? Well, I guess we'll see it later. Region map. Taking some time, or yeah, you are on. Oh, there's some sort of bugs there, it seems. Fine. Okay. I don't know if there's some sort of bug. Oh, you have to get in very close. Okay. Open trade route. Yes. So that's very similar again to the old impression games, right? Every year it is reset. Okay. Can go to the economic tab. So we are producing bricks here. Export. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. We do need to export a lot of brick for the mission, so let's do that. Okay. And we are now back in our city. What is my assessment? I mean, obviously this is just a demo, but at the same time they are planning to release soon. Um, so we may not expect complete changes in the gameplay, in sort of the game engine, and even potentially in the graphics. I mean, the graphics are not bad, right? We can go quite some quite texture level, despite the map being quite large, right? Um, this is and yeah, I mean, obviously the buildings The gameplay seems very similar in a way to the old Impression games, but at the same time, they don't seem to use exactly the same worker system. Instead, I would say it seems a bit more similar to Anno, where you have um, radius of coverage um, of your different buildings. What is more similar to the Impression games than Anno is the local um, workforce. So the workforce is only working where they live, basically. Um, Even if in the old Impression games it was not really that either, right? It was that you need one house close to the where they work, but you don't need all of the house there. And then they did change that later on, right? With sort of global working population. So that's gonna bring some interesting challenges, right? Because that means you can't have one part of the map where you just have people and maybe feed people, and another part with your industries, you need to mix and match. So let's say if these are my mines, I actually do need population close to here, but it's gonna be hard to bring water and potentially food here. So that may bring some interesting challenges. We do see military, even if it's not available in this demo, so that's gonna bring something interesting to the game. There is diplomacy that we haven't really covered in this demo either. The gods, similarly, which I guess will bring us favor slash wrath if we forget about them. Festivals, so very similar to the old Impression game like Caesar 3 again. Yeah, there's an interesting concept where you don't have money, but you have bread and beer as money. And I guess this is it. Anyway, it is, ladies and gents. Thanks for watching this game discovery with me. If you like the video, don't hesitate to press the like button. And if you're interested, if you have any comments, thoughts, questions about this game or requests about another game, please do not hesitate to share. I'd love to hear about it.